Okay, so welcome. You found Odyssey the Platform, and this webinar is to introduce what Odyssey the Platform is, as well as the team of people we have behind the scenes, our practitioners who are here to guide you. So straight off the bat, my name's Rebecca. I'm one of the co-founders and also the human design guide on the team. And for this beginning section, we've also got Anne. Hi, Anne.
No, one of the other co-founders.
Yeah, who's also here as our psychic medium, but you'll learn more about her later down the line. So we'll introduce the rest of the practitioners that you can see on screen later on, but we'll just let you know a little bit of information about what Odyssey the Platform is and where it's come from and where we're going. So Odyssey the Platform Odyssey is also called a journey full of adventures. So it's known as a soul quest. So we're your team of soul guides helping you on that journey. And it was a channeled name, right? It was a channeled name.
That channel, that exactly it. That is the name that they were channeling for ages. I kept on hearing Odyssey, and then the platform. And that was the thing that they wanted it to be called. So if anyone's wondering, that I actually got that message, they were channeling the information saying it's got to be called Odyssey, and Odyssey the platform being given a stage of the space for individuals to come upon, and also the practitioners. So that's their name, and we're going with it. And it's the soul adventure, a journey of the soul, they said. Thank you.
Absolutely. So this has been in the works for a while. It's changed shape a few times, but it's been about 3 years since you first got this idea channeled through from source, and it's been trying to materialize, but the timing hasn't been quite right. But there's been a few energy shifts, and we've finally accepted it and brought it into existence. The timing has fully aligned, right?
Of the whole planet. It's just not for us, it's of the whole planet, of where we are right now, of how people are starting to be more inquisitive about their journey, where they are. And we needed the last 2-3 years to have happened on the globe, on the whole planet, for people to come to where they are right now. They've had a major shift, a whole major shift. And I was hearing the other day, actually, I was speaking, I was communicating with Light Council and Channel Information. It's about this conscious awareness on the planet that is about changing that. So yes, that's why it needed to take the time it did.
Absolutely. So we launched, as of this video being recorded, we launched a couple of days ago on April the 5th, and the platform has finally been birthed. So from behind the scenes, we've been onboarding our team of practitioners, our experts, and they're all from many different modalities. And that's always the aim, to bring together different modalities. We've been tweaking the website, and we've been deciding on lots of different dates for webinars, courses, events, and lots more to come. So yeah.
So sorry, because they keep giving me the information. I'm like, Anne,
why?
I go back, but it's like, so they're sort of saying this is important time, Rebecca. They said this is important time. This is now at this moment where we are, April the 7th, 2023. It's very much about this Easter weekend, to give birth, to move forward, rebirthing process. The planet is rebirthing. Okay, thank you. The planet is rebirthing. So this is the time when they fitted in and they gave you dates, and they were testing the information. Rebirthing, number 7. Okay, I wish I had my numerologist here. Number 7 is very about spiritual leaders, very, very much about the spiritual journey. So that makes sense when they're doing that. And also, they just wanted to say thank you. They just said that each of the practitioners that we have at this moment on this program, on this platform, they have been hand chosen, hand picked. It's not by Anne, it's not by Rebecca, it's literally their names have dropped in, and they have been chosen because of their journeys they have been on, their soul quest along their journeys of their soul, and that's why they're stepping forward right now. Thank you. Sorry, I have to, because
why you're here, otherwise it wouldn't be the platform. This is what it's about, mixing together different personality types, mixing together different languages and modalities, and also combining information from source, which is why you're here. So please interrupt me. So what is Odyssey the Platform? What's this all about? So we're a community of like-minded souls at our core. So we are connecting everyone together to embark onwards on your own journey of soul progression, on our own Odysseys, and on our own journeys, but we're doing it together. So we're bringing together experts from numerous modalities to disrupt our current understanding of science, spirituality, and ourselves, because we think it's too simplistic to just look at ourselves and the world through just one lens. It's about bringing together different languages. People don't hear things all in the same way. So we need the different conversations to be happening and different ways of looking at it.
And there are so many different peoples on the planet, they just said.
People,
That
those humans.
Yeah, those humans. I often hear it when I'm channeling. There's so many peoples on the planet that they need different information. You all receive different things, sensory, very different, hearing, feeling, seeing, taste, touch, everything. So you don't just need one modality. Okay, thank you. They just said your planet for so long has looked at psychology. It needs to change. It's updating. Okay, thank you. They said all the information is updating at this moment. That's why you need different modalities, they said, to bring together, to look at who you are, to see what speaks to you. And something that you may have been interested before now is changing your modality of how you're receiving information. So it might not be psychology. It might be through human design, numerology. It might be soul progression. There are many, much more information to come forward.
Absolutely. And they're all separate tools. However, actually, a lot of tools say either the same thing or they're very, very complementary. And a lot of different organizations or systems don't look at them combined. So this is what our real kind of passion is to bring it all together, because we're trying to sing together rather than going, this one's better than this one, or this does this and this does this. Actually, they can work really harmoniously together, which is what we're going to be demonstrating.
They just said they like that. Sorry, they just said they like it. It's like a symphony. Symphony.
Symphony, very different than sympathy.
I heard the word and it's like trying to hear what they're saying, and
translating.
They speak really fast, and it's just like they don't do one sentence as you just did on the screen. They do a number of sentences and then they speak in between them. So yes, thank you.
Yeah. So really, really what's been communicated to all of us is that we're stepping into the next stage of mankind. All of the modalities point towards some version of progression, shift, and change in the energies which surround us. And together we're going to navigate that. There's been an up level, there's been a change, and there's more to come. All the different modalities kind of point towards some type of big shift, and we're going to need help.
You are the noisy neighbor, they just said. The noisy neighbor in the galaxy. So because of this, okay, thank you, they just said, I've got to share this, that every individual one of you, you produce this energy, you send it out with your emotions, your experiences that you're experiencing. There are going to be many people on your planet this time, the empaths, people who are going to be waking up, people who are going to be looking at that intuition side of themselves, people who are going to be making structural changes to their lives. And so they need the okay, thank you. So they need the individuals with different modalities to approach those individuals, to be there to hold their space for them. The idea is that each and every one of you sends out this frequency of emotion, of interacting with each other. Also is to look at the science as well, which is very important, because some people will not listen to as the fact of the frequency or the energy, or even look at the fact of thinking about intuition. So it's very important that you are noisy neighbors. You send out this ripple of energy out into the universe. So we need to stabilize, we need to balance you. So it makes so much sense. Thank you.
Now you can see how your energy just shifted there. That was not you. See, it's no scary thing as well. I always think it's nice to say it's not a scary thing. She just switches in and out. It's great. Okay, so what is this growing into? Obviously, this is just the start. We are very much kind of startup vibe. We're going along as we can, bringing new features and functionalities in when we can, new offers, new webinars, new events. But what is this going to be growing into? Well, currently we have 5 practitioners who we're going to introduce to you today in just a moment, and there's more to join. We're getting requests and we're also getting names dropped in all the time from the source, and we're reaching out and we're combining with them. So watch this space as we grow. But this is our kind of core launch team who have been here from the start, who have kind of struggled on with us in terms of pulling it all together. So we're really grateful for them being here and bearing with us. So currently you can book one-on-one sessions, and in the future, you'll be able to take yourself on self-guided courses. You'll be able to sign up for group workshops, attend online webinars and in-person events, and join a membership of like-minded people also on the soul progression journey with access to on-demand content. So there's so much to come, and you can imagine that we're just launching, and you can just keep watching this space, sign up for the newsletter and things like that, Instagram, etc., just to hear when things come out, because it's going to be coming out quick.
They are trying to
getting pushed, so it's going to come out quick.
I know, They're pushing me fast forward. Organically, we are growing, they said. Organically, to bear with the humans that are putting this together. Organically, they are growing. There will be those free information too, as in building a community of like-minded people. So this is really about a community that we're building. So it's not a cult. There's nothing to follow. It's literally about you make your own decision, but there will be information there that will be free also, that these individual practitioners through their life experiences are quite happy and willing to put out that information for free as well. It's about gathering and bringing people together. So it's not to put people off and thinking, I cannot afford this, I cannot do this. There will be also information that will be put on constantly and channeled information to help those who need to have it. It's almost like, I think they said, like a news update or weather forecast, everything. So every time, so often, thank you, different words, then there will be information put onto the website too.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the resource bank that you'll be able to access. There'll be paid options, but also free options, because we do want to make this accessible, as much accessible as we can. So everyone who needs the information can get it in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, we're very mission led in terms of wanting everyone to be able to access it. So things like pay it forward schemes, and some other different scholarship schemes, etc., are all in the works as well. So if you're looking at this and going, it'll be great to have a session, but I just can't afford it, completely fine. And we are putting things in place so that everyone else can access it as well. We are mission led rather than profit led. That's separate for us. So we are giving you the tools, the knowledge, and the community and the support so you feel empowered in guiding yourself every day. This is important. We're just facilitating with the tools, and you're taking yourself on your journey. And this is being built to be large and huge, ginormous. I mean, when we kind of look at who we're targeting at, Source just keeps going, everyone. It's the whole planet. And it's like, imagine going into a business pitch and being like, well, our whole target market is anyone with a computer, like whatever it is. It's an interesting one, but it is being built to be large. So we're building in systems right now so it can keep growing and growing.
Thank you. They just said the computer in the sense of they reach globally at people around the world, because your market has really changed. But also there will be live events, there'll be retreats running around the world. So there also is their live one-to-one as well, and gathering of information and gathering of individuals. So yes, you are correct, they said.
Thank you very much for telling me I'm correct. No, I love it. I love the language. We have a great little back and forth here. So
they haven't been human before. These are guides. These are light beings. This is light source. This is light counsel. So that's why there's no politeness. There's no soften the edges. They're just straight in.
Exactly. And I love it. So we are so pleased that you're here. We're so pleased that you stumbled across us. Often we stumble across things at the perfect timing in our lives when we need it. So hopefully we found you at the right time, and you found us at the right time for yourselves. So it kind of brings me on to our team. Rather than us just, sitting here and just looking pretty, we want to introduce ourselves to you, because we are all fundamental in our roles and things coming forward. So we'll start with Anne, as you already started speaking, and we'll move through.
It's interesting.
Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's like we start with Anne, and I'm like, cracky, let's hope it is just me, but I know I'm going to have the
Let's start with your team, shall we?
Okay, so Rebecca was correct, and welcome. Thank you for finding us. If you found us, it means it's divine timing for you. It's meant to be. And also to spread the word, that's really important. The people that you know in your life are meant to be connected to you at any given time. So yes, being one of the co-founders, an idea that kept on coming in, and I was like, when am I going to do it? When is this going to happen? I need some help. And then Rebecca was doing her thing, and she was doing human design. And then it was like, okay, right, that makes sense. And then Rebecca finished her human design, and she worked for some other organization. They said, you need to get online. And there were some other individuals, as you can see, that we have Amy, Francis, and Helen, and they still keep dropping in names even today of people we're going to extend out to. The idea was that I found that if I look back over the years of, life happens to all of us. And if I think of where I've come from and where I am right now, I needed to go through every single step of whatever happened to me in my life. It was for me to make me the person I am today. And it all makes sense in different areas of my life. And I noticed that over the years, I was trying to make sense of different situations that happened to me, and I became a therapist. And then, through my near-death experiences, I don't just have one, so I have three. And there's been a few other things that's happened in between. And every time I've been guided, and it's given me sort of access to, like today I was working with the Akashic Records, and so it's given me some access, some information, and it's given me I feel very privileged that, you know, it's enabled them to connect with me more. I needed to have those situations happen so that I could connect, even from young childhood situations that happened. So it's made me understand of who I am and what I'm doing. And what I did find out, well, what I did find is that as a therapist, it's sort of, yeah, you look from the science point of view. And when I said I was a psychic medium, people frowned upon it, or trying to get my insurance, or couldn't have, you know, certain governing boards to put on my website because they didn't like the idea of me working with quantum physics or metaphysics at the same time as being a therapist. So I, you know, I had a lot of doubt in this. I didn't know how it was going to work. And then when my guides came in and started giving me my clients, you know, I'd have separate, as in my psychic mediumship clients, and then my therapist clients, and then they started intermingling. And then one day it was like, you see, it's important. It's about the soul journey of the human being. And I'm like, oh, okay, got it. So combined it and everything. So I will be on the website, as in I'll be doing the psychic mediumship. And when I do the psychic mediumship, it's very much about bringing loved ones, like bring them forward, whether it's animal or human, they will come forward and they will help to guide you. They're always there. So I bridge that gap, and I'm in the middle of it all. I become the voice box for your loved ones on the other side. And we look at how we can assist you on your journey. So that would be the psychic mediumship readings. And then we've got the soul coaching, which what they said to me today is more like a soul review of where you are. Now, there's been quite a few clients over the last couple of weeks, and we were looking about how to put this together on screen. And literally, I've been accessing Akashic Records. And sometimes what happens is, especially when I had my near-death experience, I was taken to a hallway of souls, and they was giving me information. And it was a lot of information held for the individuals. Now, I was later told, I didn't even understand at the time when this happened 20-something years ago, it's called the Akashic Records. It wasn't in favor, or it wasn't, you know, one of those words that you sort of threw all over the place. But what has happened is I gave myself a soul review while I was there. And I'm realizing when I do this soul coaching and transformational work, it's very much the Akashic Records all open, and the guides are there to guide you. So you don't have to have that near-death experience, thank God. Okay, I have done it for you, in the sense that I open up the soul of a hallway of souls, Akashic Records, and I stand there before you, and they give you the information of what it is, where you've been on your journey, what's happened as the human, as your soul has embarked upon the vessel, they just said, and they work with you on that and help you transform anything that's happened for you. They give you a life review sort of thing, and they help you on that journey. And through the coaching sessions, we help you to get to where you need to go to. Now, also over the last couple of, I'd say, months, I started becoming a couple soul coach. And I'm like, wow, what the hell? My relationship failed. What the hell? I don't understand why you're bringing me these couples. But thankfully for you, Anne steps out a little bit, and then they come through, and we look at individuals and what's going on. So sometimes I'll have couples, as in the couple sitting on screen, and I work with them as a couple, or I work individually with them and also bring them together at some point. And we look at what's your journey, why is it that individual's been brought into your life, and what's going on for you. So the soul couple coaching, that's how it works. And we work to move you forward on your journey, whatever that journey is, whether it's to stay together or to decouple, whatever it is that you feel that you need, what's going on in your relationship. So that's what I do, and that's what I will be doing. Plus, I'll be channeling them and bringing information forward. So, and coaching coaches as well on my journey as well. So I am here, and this will be my job, and bringing teaching and teaching students also to learn how to in tune also with their guides, to connect with source and to help them on their journey. There will be lots of classes that will be moving forward. So that's me in a nutshell. So thank you.
Very nice. Thank you for the introduction. As you can see, it's kind of a 2-in-1 package with Anne. You get Anne plus soul guides. It's like channeling.
Not two, they said. They said there's many of us here. Sorry.
Apologies for offending. And again, there's no filter with them. It's just they say it as it is. But I'm used to it by now. Okay, so I've already introduced myself, but I'm Rebecca. So I'm also one of the co-founders, but I'm also a human design guide. So very much on my journey, I've always wanted to know kind of who I am, why I'm here, and how to navigate life as myself. And human design for me was the first system that I could truly understand myself through. So growing up in quite a spiritual household to some extent, and with some people that believe and some people that don't believe in the spiritual elements and the bigger elements to life, I was always kind of told, trust your gut, trust your instinct. And I couldn't understand why my gut just took me to all the wrong places. I'm being serious. So within human design, which is called the science of differentiation, it showed me how different I was than anyone else. And it actually then showed me how to make decisions correctly and reliably as myself. And funnily enough, it was not my gut, it's not my instinct, it's not follow my heart. For me, it's a very peculiar one. As if you know human design, it's as a mental projector, so I have outer authority. So it's not one of the ones that you hear about often. So human design is something I've become quite passionate about because of what it enables me to do, and this is what I want to help you do as well. So within human design chart readings, we'll look into your chart to see how different you are than anyone else. We can look into your strengths, your challenges, your vulnerabilities, and also how to make decisions as yourself. That is literally how we navigate life, not by turning left and right like we do in a car, but essentially saying, do I want to enter that relationship? Do I want to enter that job? Do I want to leave this situation? So we navigate life with decisions. So actually learning how to make decisions correctly as ourselves is one of the key things that I feel has helped me and can also help you. The connection chart readings are where we combine two charts together. So this could be you and your partner, you and your parents, you and your best friend, you and your brother or sister. It's anyone that we can see overlay with your chart, and it can give you a lot of information about why you think the way that you do, what you're dealing with, but also how the connection is impacting you in that moment. We can improve the kind of relationship through giving advice about how to communicate better, and also just show a bit of empathy and understanding towards each other, because we see how different each person is and why the connection is so unique. And then finally, I also do human design coaching. So this is for those who have already had a human design chart reading session, have probably done a connection chart session, and just want everyday help in terms of, well, how do I actually implement this? Because part of human design isn't believing anything I tell you, but actually experimenting with it. It's part of the experiment of life. So this is that ongoing coaching for anyone that just wants to keep checking in or getting more information or going more in depth into the deeper layers of human design, because it goes very, very deep. So this is what I offer. Cool. So moving on, we have Helen, our transformative hypnotherapist and heart-led coach. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Wow. What amazing to keep up with you two. My goodness, you're mostly in flow, both of you now, honestly. Thank you for introducing me. I resonate a lot with what Anne said at the beginning, which is that you don't get to this stage in life without having lived through a lot of different things. And I think for me, I learned from a very young age that I was very naturally intuitive, very much knew what was going on around me, very much felt everything. And I was always looking into more and sneaking self-help books and trying to understand myself and life and what it was all about. And I think just having that constant interest has led me through astrology, human design, all of it. None of these I've trained in, by the way, but just things that, as you were saying earlier, different modalities that you can pull in and go, that makes sense of this, this makes sense of that. I love working that way. It feels very intuitive to me, and yeah, it's kind of how I work. I also, over the years, have sort of, through my own journey, really connected with things that work for me, things that raise my vibration, things that make me happy, things that make me feel connected. And I'm really passionate about helping people reconnect back to themselves and find what sparks joy within them and for them to create the life they want to live. Around 5 years ago now, I studied hypnotherapy, I've done NLP, I've done EFT, lots and lots of different modalities, and all of them kind of get pulled in their own way. But also I really consider myself a people person. So I really value those moments where I can just sit and be with somebody and just connect with them on an intuitive level. So I'm really excited to be part of this. Thank you for having me. So my offerings are, as you can see, healing with hypnotherapy, which is a great thing if you're feeling stuck, feeling lost, not quite sure what direction you want to go in, not sure what you need to do next, clarity around certain things. it's really about upgrading the software of the mind, and it's very gentle. You're very aware within it. I'm not dangling a watch or doing anything silly, but it's a really beautiful way of clearing out old stories, things that no longer serve you, things that are kind of past the sell-by date now, because sometimes we live in our adult self, and we're still playing out something that our 5-year-old went through. We don't need to be doing that anymore. So yeah, it's a great place to start for me, and yeah, so looking forward to doing some of that. Self-discovery and connection, very much if you're feeling ungrounded, burnt out, lost sight of who you are, feeling stressed, anxious, not knowing the next step. This is really about getting into finding out who you are and connecting back to you, connecting to your heart space, feeling into that innate wisdom that we all have within us, but we're so bombarded by the external the whole time. Sometimes we lose sight of who we are. So I'm really passionate about, empowering people to connect back to that and really be at one with it. Because it's where it all starts. It all starts with us. We can't serve others. We can't be there for others. We can't look out for others if we're flailing in the dark or we're ungrounded. So yeah, that's self-discovery and connection. And holistic well-being, life coaching. It's, I guess, if you're already on the journey, looking at what truly inspires you, again, reconnecting back to yourself, looking for frameworks that can support you, how you can move forwards and really create the life that you're totally desiring. Looking at the holistic well-being, how you live now, how you might like to live instead, how you can incorporate these things. Yeah, it's just about kind of getting clear on where you are now and where you want to get to. And I'm here to support you on all these journeys because I'm just super passionate about all of them. And life is a journey. We're all on it. We're all always working through our stuff. And I know that I've needed support in the past. And so I'm here for people that need support now.
And they love it. Sorry, they just said it's good with the life coach and everything that you're doing, because you're also going to be holding them accountable for. And so some people want to have that where, thank you, they said sometimes where we've got parents to support us, sometimes people are not always going to have their parents in that adult role or in that supportive role. So in a way, it's like you're coming in and you're helping them, and it's very heart-led, they just said. So it's very much you've been in those shoes, you've been in that situation, and how you're going to help your clients. So they just said thank you, and not that they didn't say thank you to you, Rebecca, but they already before. So sorry. They said thank you to Helen. They said they can see how this will help the individuals because of what's going on the planet, those who will need those to come in. Yes, thank you, they said.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us.
Pleasure.
Oh, so excited. Next.
It is. It's exciting seeing it all come together, isn't it? It's exciting hearing the practitioners, exciting hearing it as a startup, making its shapes, and it's just growing into its own thing. We don't know what's going to even grow into.
Yeah, it's that organic movement. That's really important on the planet right now. Yeah, so good.
Absolutely.
Who do we have lovely now? Who's lovely person's coming up?
It's Amy. Amy, let's hear from you. We've got our transformative psycho-spiritual therapist, domestic abuse specialist therapist, and self-love soul journey intuitive coach.
What an introduction. Thank you. Hello, beautiful souls. It's such an honor to be a part of this glorious team and to be out here doing what we're doing. So I just want to say that first. I guess it's interesting hearing people because the spiritual part of my journey came much later than the actual journey to finding myself, because I got to a point in life where I realized I had no idea how to human at all. I felt so lost. I felt like I was a patchwork quilt of what everybody else had told me that I should be in life, and that this is how life works. This is what you should do. These are the right things. These are the must, the should, the have to's. This is what life has to look like. And religion was really used to suppress and kind of give me fear. And I came from very, very abusive experiences in my childhood, which led to adult experiences of abuse just because I thought it was normal. And I guess the foundation for me is that I had no idea what love was. For me, love hurt. And that was the premise that I took forward into everything I did. And the reason that self-love means a lot to me is because that was the key to unlocking my relationship with myself. Because if I'm not liking myself, why am I going to bother healing? Why am I going to bother doing the rest of the stuff for me? When you don't love someone, you don't go out of your way to do things for those people. And so for me, the foundation needs to be built on love, because it's like a house. If the house is built on a shaky foundation, that house is going to fall eventually, and whatever you build on top of it is going to be unstable. So for me, really, it was about building that foundation of understanding who I was. I realized from working with children in particular that, you know, once they've got this story and this belief going on about this is who I am, in every situation and experience, they're making it about themselves. They're telling themselves a story about who they are. And that's where I was in life. So when I did my degree, I'd come out of a really violent and abusive relationship. And initially it was about wanting to help others without realizing that actually I needed to go on that deep inner healing journey, which actually kickstarted my journey 19 years ago. So for me, I think it was much easier that the psychological part of it happened first, because I don't think I would have been able to take on the spiritual part without it, because I would have just gone, oh my God, this is woo, what is this? So it was a deep inner journey. And what I love about the Odyssey is that for me, there was no single thing. It was all of the things that I went and learned, all of the different ways of looking within, and then coming to the realization that life is an inside job. It starts here and it radiates outwards, and that everything that was going on in my outside, which crumbled during my multiple spiritual awakenings, that was a creation from within me. And actually that reality was horrendous. It was horrific for me, but it showed me this is how you're loving yourself, and this is what you're telling the world that you are. And so for me, the psycho-spiritual counseling coaching is really about marrying the two things together, because that has what has literally transformed my world. Being able to understand that, yes, I'm on this human journey, and at the same time I can step out of it and kind of look at the fact that I'm also on a soul journey. And it's made it a lot easier for me, because then I wasn't sitting there going, why me? Why have I gone through all of this? You know, why is it just me? Why don't other people go through this? It gave me the understanding that every moment of my life has brought me to right here. And I needed all of those things. And for me, yes, the self-love transformational coaching is a deep journey. It's about building an amazing relationship with yourself, because that is going to radiate outwards, and that is going to impact all of your other relationships. Because how can you truly relate to somebody if you can't relate to yourself? If you can't understand yourself, if you can't acknowledge, validate, and have your own worth, how are you going to allow yourself to receive it? And how are you going to then give that to anybody else? So for me, those are the fundamentals of the things that have changed my life. But then it was a dropping in of the spirituality and my intuition opening up and being able to kind of really go inside and align with my soul journey. It changed my life, and it's led me onto this path of, yeah, I want to live a life that I love, and I want to love the life that I live, and I want to be able to go out there and tell everybody that you have got the opportunity to do this. So that is what I'm doing here. And it's a huge privilege to be a part of this. So thank you.
I love that. And it's interesting, because I found that with a lot of clients that sometimes they get stuck thinking that, woe is me, this is what's happened to me. Actually, it's what I hear from them. It's very much, it's happened for you to show you the other side of this. And it's so easy, like, you know, a lot of us here that, you know, getting caught up in toxic relationships or toxicity within families or whatever it is, to pull yourself out of it, to actually work with it's very difficult. So you're one of us in the sense of that you're going through everything that you went through, you've pulled yourself through it in a sense, and you've turned it into something beautiful. They just said a bit like the lotus flower. So it's a bit like, you know, with the Buddhist belief, as it grows out the murkiness, out of the water. Oh, and you're just showing us, what are you showing us, Amy? Oh, you're on mute. Let's hear your voice.
Yes, my tattoo is of a lotus flower. So there you go.
I love that. That makes sense. So they said, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Love that. Oh, the team is coming together. Okay, who's next? Ooh.
We have Frances. So Frances is our mindset coach and tantric practitioner and teacher.
You know, just sitting here taking in everything and seeing the energy, I can feel it coming through the computer screen, that it's just empowering and just a beautiful place to be, and I'm so happy to be part of it. My story starts really being born. I was born into a very abusive father, and unfortunately in my early months, I was the first battered baby, beaten baby to be publicised in the UK, and it went to Crown Court. And because it was the first one, they didn't know what to do. So they sent me back, and that abuse carried on. And at the age of about 13, my mum left my dad, and I still, unfortunately, she's not with us anymore, but I thank the day that she showed us that you don't have to stay in a situation that doesn't serve you any longer. And she was a very strong, even though we were in that situation as children, she grew within that, and I've seen the strength of the woman before she died, that was her journey to change the trajectory of our lives moving forward. But obviously being born into that situation, trauma, I was born into trauma, it was my reality. I was trauma response to everything. And then in about my 30s, things started, or I started to get overwhelmed with it all. And I went to a Buddhist temple and learned how to meditate. And that started me on my journey of healing and self-discovery. And then my mom died just over 8 years ago this month. And I got a newspaper cutting from my auntie. And on this newspaper cutting in 1964, it actually used the title, The Riddle of the Baby with the Broken Bones. And it named me, my mum and dad, where we lived and everything else. And I took a deep breath and I thought, what is the riddle of the baby with the broken bones? Hell, she's lived a good life. I didn't let what I was born into define who I've become. But that has been a journey. There's obviously residue, the way I've dealt with relationships, the way I've dealt with connection with men and sexual relationships, and with everything that I've done. And when I came into Tantra, I think one of the main questions I always got asked was, is it the same thing that Sting does? That sex thing. And yes, of course, there's the sex side to it, and all kudos to Sting. He's, lives a beautiful Tantra life. But for me, it's passionate about you as an individual, connecting to your sexual energy, connecting to you, your energy spot. Tantra is just bringing all the modalities together to enable you. If you ask me who I am now, I'm a gorgeous, sexy, empowered woman.
Woohoo!
There you are.
And I think we should all feel that, because when you feel it, your body tingles, and you get up every day and you just want to enjoy life and the best of life. And when things happen to you, you're grounded enough to just learn from it and move forward. So I'm offering Neo Tantra coaching to enable you to fall in love with yourself, to connect with your sexual energy. Mindset coaching, because mindset is everything, and we deal with removing blocks and enabling you to connect with each other. And couples coaching, because have you lost that sparkle? Have you brought up children, all of a sudden you're at home alone and you've forgotten who you fell in love with, or you've forgotten even how to touch the one that you love? Because it's about conscious touch, it's conscious connection with yourself and your partner. Have you gone through a relationship where everything's broken and you're starting again? Are you fearful of moving forward with relationship? Again, what Helen said, and everybody else muted in here, it starts within. And if you can turn around and look in the mirror and love who you see, love what's coming back at you, and think, hell, I'm going out there, I can deal with rejection, I can deal with anything, because I'm moving forward in my dreams, my life, and I'm just gorgeous.
It's interesting, Francis. It's really interesting because the sexual energy, and I've had a lot of clients who do come to me, but the sexual energy is really important because it's about embracing the energy that we have, and we unleash it. They just said, I was thinking of a word, they just said unleashing it. Unleashing that energy internally within you, even if it's that sexual energy and you're having that sexual energy relationship with yourself, is important. There are many of us who've been abused during childhood where you know, it gets stuck and you don't look at your own body, or you don't feel into it. So you know, how I met you, and I think was very interesting. It's like really releasing that sexual energy and stepping into it for your own purpose as well, which is really important. So they, you know, they confirmed it in the sense of that energy is really important. So it's that, thank you, they just said, it's really that we are all here as alchemists. We're alchemists. We're making changes. We've made changes to our life, and we're going to help others to help them to make their changes too. We will not do their work for them. We will give them the modalities, we will facilitate, we'll give them some tools and techniques for their individual to do the work. Thank you. They just said it's not for us to do the work for them. They have to do it. They have to step into that place to meet themselves, to meet all those, they're also their future selves to come in, so that they know they meet them at the place. That's really lovely.
And you can have a sexually bliss life, feeling sexual. It doesn't mean I'm having sex. To feel that on your own as a part, just as a person, to feel that energy going through your body, and just feel, if your sacral is empowered and all of it's connected, you just feel good, and then you're at a higher vibration, so you attract higher vibration into your life. But again, as you say, it's a personal journey, and I can give you the stepping stones for you to walk towards your future self and meet yourself, because they're waiting for you.
It's interesting, something that's just come into my head, so a bit off course in a way, but this is, so some of the couple how am I going to explain this, some of the couple relationship stuff that I've been doing, and it's interesting they just brought you up as well in it. I have individuals that come to me where we have the living individual, and then we have the person on the other side as well, and they, you know, who've passed over, husbands or wives or whatever, and that's been come up quite a lot, where they're still having a physical sexual contact from the other side. Now what's linked them is because they had a physical, really good, powerful sexual relationship, and the energy of that, they're still being able to go through that. So that might be something that they actually, depending on the clients that see you, might come forward and want to do that as well. So they don't have to both be living, which that might sound bizarre, but for the last year I've been working with clients who on the other side are still having that connection with their loved ones still. So it's, who knows, it's interesting, the clients that will find us. I love it. Yeah.
And it is a bit with if you've had an amazing sexual encounter where you just felt amazing, well, you can tap into that, and manifestation when you're at the height of orgasm and your body's there, when you connect to source at the highest level. So just if you were younger, you know, sort of 10 years ago, you had this amazing sexual relationship and it still gives you that buzz, it's still yours to move into whenever you want it.
Yeah, it's reactivating it, they just said.
It's just getting in there, and then with Kundalini awakening and you feel that body, it's yours to own. Just because you had that amazing experience once, don't just leave it there. You know, mind, but just connect with it again and enjoy and be empowered by that energy that you experienced.
You bank it, they just said. Thank you.
Yeah, bank it.
Thank you so much, Francis. I love it. Rebecca.
Beautiful.
Good.
So you can already see the kind of breadth, depth, knowledge that is coming together from just the 5 of us that are here. And like you say, you're channeling these names through, so everyone's kind of been handpicked. And part of this is building a directory of people who we trust.
It's just the beginning, they said, just the beginning. There's more to come on different levels, different modalities, different practitioners. Yes, they said.
Yeah, exactly. But it's this kind of trusted element. So all of our practitioners are trained in their fields, have got certifications, have got insurance. All of this stuff is part of the prerequisites. So all of this is just to kind of show anyone that you see on our site is kind of vetted, trusted, and we've been through some of their sessions with them. We've experienced it firsthand. And yeah, that's why they're part of the team. And like we say, there's going to be so many different modalities coming together to just increase the kind of breadth that we can help deal with and help facilitate. And we're so open-minded, even from the conversation you just had about having sexual relationships on other sides. This is how open we are. We don't judge. We've genuinely heard it all.
I have heard it.
Heard most of it. I'm sure there's more surprises.
I can tell you.
Probably more surprises to come, but we've heard a lot of it. So honestly, it's completely fine. It's a non-judgment safe. It's a very safe space.
But also, I was just going to say that what I have found over the years is that literally, and why we wanted to make sure that we had people who have experience, people who certified, that we've checked all qualifications, people who are insured, because the amount of people, even as a psychic medium, people that I have come across with clients over the last God knows how many years, and I've worked with thousands of clients that have said to me that someone told them something, and then when I found out they've had no certification, no insurance, nothing. So as we move forward, this is going to be one of the biggest things, that to check out who you're having your counselling or your psychic mediumship with, or whoever, whatever you're doing, that's going to be really important as you move forward, that they are experienced, that they are insured, and everything's all sorted out. That's going to be one of the important things. And as we move forward, the platform, it's not just going to be about therapy stuff. It's also, we're going to have a nutritionist, we're going to have a psychotherapist, we're going to have a physiotherapist, sorry, the wrong P. There's going to be loads of different P that cut people. I hate P, they did it again. Lots of other people. It's no good talking to a psychic medium who's dyslexic, is it? I mean, I get things upside down, round the wrong way, but there's going to be a selection of individuals that are going to be coming on board. We're going to have people doing breath work. We're going to have people doing a whole number of things, and loads of podcasts and webinars that will also be free as well, that you can listen into. There'll be more conversations with us from our experiences and topics that we need to look at and to cover. So it's sort of listen in, tune in, be with us, go on our journey with us, because we're here. And if you don't want to, it's up to you. It's your free will, as they just said, but this is what we're here for.
Absolutely. And I mean, just as is quite poetic, just as the sun is setting and we're all starting to look very dark on our screens, apart from Amy, who's got some great light. I mean, Francis has got great light, and Mum, and you've got this big light on your face. So exactly. So just as the sun is kind of setting below the horizon, I think it's a nice time to kind of just finish up and just say, hopefully we've demonstrated what Odyssey the platform is, who we all are in terms of our different modalities. And if you do want to book a session, they are bookable online. If you can't, or not just yet, you can always just check us out on Instagram, or just have a look on our website, join our newsletter, and have a look for any blogs and free resources coming in. So the website is www.odysseytheplatform.com.
And if there is any questions or queries about anything that we've covered, or they want to know more information, I'm sure we have an email address where we can filter through any information, and we can send it to the different practitioner if you want to ask them a question to see if they are the right practitioner for you, or anything else that you want. That's really important, that you are able to communicate with us. That's going to be a big thing for us, is that we are able to communicate with you and you can communicate with us to clear anything up.
Absolutely. We're trying to be a very connected community, and we're going to build in different things for that. So even if you don't want to email and you'd rather just DM us on Instagram, send us a message on Instagram, we're connected. So our social media person connects us all as well. So feel free to just email.
And the Instagram address is, Rebecca?
Odyssey the platform.
That's it. Simple as that.
Simple.
Okay. Lovely.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for listening to this introductory webinar about the launch of Odyssey the platform, and hopefully it's given you an understanding, and hopefully we will see you in a session or on another one of our monthly webinars very soon.
Lovely. Thank you.
See you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.